Everybody knows those people. You know, those people, those stars, those sports stars, whatever they may be, that just struggle and they can't find a way, they can't find a home, right? They can't find the right environment to thrive in. And they just haven't been able to find a steady job in the NFL. And all of a sudden, they were so overlooked. One team brings him in, gives him a chance, and he finally finds the right environment and he thrives to become the league average reception leader. Well, actually, I do know who that is. And Lions are the guy with that player. Also going to be talking about how Darrell Bevell has Matthew Stafford playing the best he ever has. And yes, MVP talks are a real thing. Let's get this thing started. Marvin Hall is a Detroit Lions wide receiver that is very unheard of, I guess you could say. I mean, some fans probably don't even know who Marvin Hall is. I might be talking, you might be listening right now, and you're like, okay, Marvin Hall, who is Marvin Hall? And you're probably like, wait a second, okay, well, I think he's a wide receiver, right? That may be as close as you get. Other people, obviously, there's a lot of you guys out there that are really good with this stuff, and you probably know more about him than I do. But either way, Marvin Hall is a wide receiver the Detroit Lions have brought in after being cut from the Chicago Bears right after training camp, and he has been so impactful, it's ridiculous. Marvin Hall has only had 7 targets on the season with the Detroit Lions. But he also has 5 receptions for 201 yards. Okay, no, that's not wrong. Look, that's not spell check, nothing like that. That's a legit number. 201 receiving yards on 5 receptions. That's 40.2 average and a touchdown. He has been ridiculous. And he has definitely opened up this offense and a lot of big things. Okay, Darrell Bevell was talking about before. When you do scoring drives, they're not usually 5 touchdown. Nope, they're like 50, 7, 3 touchdown. It's something like that because usually you're not that patient and it's really hard to get a defense and keep moving the ball in the defense consistently. So you need those big plays to open up the game. Well, that's what Marvin Hall has brought to Detroit Lions. Now, you would say he's our 4th wide receiver at this point. And when you think about the Lions wide receivers, you don't think about Marvin Hall. Trust me, you don't. And also, he shares the same first name as another wide receiver the Lions have that's very well known compared to him. That's Marvin Jones Jr. A lot of people know about that guy. A lot of people know about Kenny G. Okay, who doesn't know about Kenny G? That's the real question. Danny Amendola, okay, the veteran that's just amazing. But you don't think of a guy named Marvin Hall. Like, ooh, Marvin. Who is that? I'll tell you who he is. This is a guy that was undrafted in 2016 out of Washington, who went with the Raiders, who was with the Cardinals, who was with the Falcons for 2 years, where he did a little bit. And then he went to Chicago, tried out, not going to make it. Lions are like, okay, wait a minute. I see you. This dude's fast. This dude is also a vertical threat. Maybe he would help the Lions. Let's bring him over here and give him opportunity. Matt Patricia loved their work ethic. Matt Patricia said, this man wants his opportunity. He's trying to learn all the in and outs. We have to give this guy a chance. And what does he do with that chance? Well, he does a lot of really good things. He comes right on the scene with a big bomb. And then it's like, oh, okay. Marvin Hall, I see you. Okay, I have never heard of this guy, but hopefully he does again. A couple next games. Another big catch. Big catch. Big catch. He's got 5 of them things. 40 yards per reception. You can't make this up. He leads the league. He leads the league in that. And he got an opportunity by the Detroit Lions because he found the right environment. He is unthought of. He is overlooked like crazy by opponents. By fans, he is overlooked. By our fans, he can be overlooked because you just don't think about him. But with the Detroit Lions, he has been outstanding. Okay, these are big numbers. And you may say, well, that's 5 receptions. That's not going to do much. Well, at the same time, he's not asked to get 20 receptions. Those receptions are going to Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, the guy that you hear about. But the guy that makes that one big play game that breaks it open is Marvin Hall that no one knows about, and that's what makes him so special for the Detroit Lions. And I am so glad the Lions gave this man an opportunity because it has worked wonders. Darrell Bevell has brought him into the offense. He's given him an opportunity. He's given him vertical threats. He's given him passes down the field. And Matthew Stafford has not been shy to throw it deep, and he shouldn't because he has one of the best arms the NFL has ever seen. And he's hit Marvin Hall multiple times on deep routes, and it has opened up football games, okay? Versus any team you want to throw in there, the Giants, the Packers, whatever it may be. He's had bigger routes and big plays for the Detroit Lions. He has opened things up. You could call this man overlooked, whatever you want to call him. I call him Mr. Vertical. No, that's a dumb name. Look, I'm sorry. I was trying to keep the vibe going, the hype vibe, and then I couldn't think of a cool name to call him. So y'all gotta let me know what's a cool name to call him. Mr. Vertical just don't sound right. I feel like that sounds kind of like tall, but he's not tall. So I'm trying to think like Mr. Deep Threat or just Deep Threat. Like, you know, that's kind of a simple, plain name. So you guys are going to have to comment below and tell me what the heck I should call him because I don't know. Let's just move our train of thought and just turn it. Okay, I don't know what that was. We just turned it around. So we're going this way now. We were going this way. We're going to be talking about Matthew Stafford. Now, Matthew Stafford has had, you could say, one of the best quarterback years of his career. Actually, so far, it's really been his best. And he's actually been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but he's not going to get that recognition because, sadly, the Lions don't get that recognition because they're 3-3-1. And I know. MVP, that's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. I'm not going to talk about him getting the MVP. Let me just throw you through a little hula hoop real quick. Listen to this. Matthew Stafford is second in the league with 16 touchdown passes. Now, You may be thinking, okay, well, that's cool, that's cool. Well, who's he behind? Well, he's behind Russell Wilson. Oh, okay, well, that's why Russell Wilson is going to get the MVP. But Russell Wilson has also played one more game. Huh. Stafford has played one less game than the other 3 players in the top 4. Wow, okay, that's kind of crazy. Stafford has 16 touchdown passes to 4 interceptions. Stafford also has over 100 quarterback rating. And you may be like, wow, that's really good. Yeah, he's never done that before in a season. Never. He also, according to adjusted quarterback rating, is above Aaron Rodgers. Wow, Aaron Rodgers. The Aaron Rodgers? How did he do that? Matthew Stafford has been great. I'm not trying to bash nobody. Matthew Stafford has been absolutely phenomenal. Stafford is putting up the numbers. And Daryl Bevel is one of the reasons for that. The Lions are 5th in passing yards per game. 5th. They're top 5. Meanwhile, they can't run the football. I mean, Matthew Stafford has put this team on his back for many, many years, but this year he's more consistent. This year he's smarter with the football. He's getting wiser as he ages. And coming off of last season where a lot of fans were like, what the heck, Stafford? You threw 21 touchdowns in a full season? That's not going to get it done. Well, he already has 16 in 7 games. 7 games he's about to have as many passing touchdowns as last year. That's not a good thing. That means last year was bad. Okay, last year's bad. Last year was the first time in a long time that he didn't have 4,000 yards passing. Well, he's on pace to do that again. Now, he's not on pace to have the 5,000 like in 2011 when he was a beast, right? He's not on pace to do that. He's not on pace to have 41 touchdowns. But he is on pace to be one of the most consistent quarterbacks, to be one of the most reliable quarterbacks, as we already know he is. He is on pace to maybe possibly lead the league in touchdowns, one of the highest quarterback ratings. I know some people don't love quarterback rating, but it feels like every time I go on FS1 or ESPN and start talking about, look at Dak Prescott's quarterback rating. That's my skip voice. I'm sorry, I can't do my skip voice. But that's what it is. So you know what? I'm going to throw it right back at you. Matthew Stafford statistically has been great this season. Already has 2,093 passing yards. He has a 105.3 pass rating. 105.3. His career average? 89.2. Okay, that's pretty good. He also has a higher right now so far completion percentage than his career average, which is about 2% higher, which is a pretty big deal. Okay, Matthew Stafford has been great this season, and when he's had the opportunity to shine, he definitely has. And Daryl Bevel has talked about Matthew Stafford, saying like, look, hey man, he's trying to come in, he's trying to learn the in and outs, and he really wants to master this Detroit Lions offense, and he really appreciates the work Matthew Stafford puts in. I think we all do as Lions fans, and right now he's the most consistent player on our team. He's had to put this team on his back multiple years in a row, and he's kind of having to do it again, so hopefully we can give him a little help, get this running game going, and get this defense on top where it should be, where we are expecting it to be, but it's not. Hopefully they can turn it around by the second half of the season. But right now, Matthew Stafford has been incredible. Hopefully he can keep that going. But either way, him and Marvin Hall, okay, see how I'm tying this together? What? Like a shoelace? I don't know why I did that. Like, you tie so much shoelace together, that's not funny. That's not funny, because then you're just going to trip and fall. I mean, it is funny, but it's like, why? You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. Either way, okay, he is linked to Marvin Hall because he's the guy that throws him the bombs. So 200 of those 2,000 passing yards go to Marvin Hall. So that's pretty cool. Either way, this man has been great. Marvin Hall has been exceptional as a guy that's been so overlooked. And the Detroit Lions hopefully can turn this bus around and get some wins going. And I believe that they definitely can. But that's not the focus of the video. Either way, I want to hear your thoughts, comments below. What is a good nickname for Marvin Hall? Can't think of one, okay? And also, what the Detroit Lions need to do to help out Matthew Stafford. I think it's pretty obvious. Run the football better and also have a better defense. But, I mean, if you guys want to put a specific twist on that, like, ooh, they need to rush more or something. I don't know. You guys love blitzing, okay? Thank you for watching, and I'm out.